They screwed any sort of e-commerce or dropshipping because it was seen as high risk.
It's never been easier. You can literally pick up TikTok organic and you can sell a product.
Now you don't even have to spend ad revenue or buy the inventory to test whether it's possibly going to go viral.
Luke Belmar claims he's made over $16 million dropshipping back in 2019. Whether those numbers are real or not doesn't really matter, but what matters is his methods. Because even though he's turned into this red pill matrix escape influencer now, back in the day he was actually quite early to the game. I want to break down what he did, patch the holes in his strategy that wouldn't work today, and show you how to actually run this strategy in the game of 2025. So that by the end of this video, you guys can leave with a concrete e-com framework you can use to get at least $10,000 in monthly revenue. And like any good e-commerce strategy, it starts with the product, of course. When it comes to picking products, Luke Belmar plays the long game. His focus isn't on viral gimmicks or quick trend wins. He looks for what he calls evergreen products. Items that solve consistent broad market problems and don't rely on hype to stay relevant.
My biggest niche was home products because I understood that I needed a few things in order to succeed in dropshipping. One is I needed an evergreen market. I needed to sell a product that wasn't a one-off. I couldn't have one-time customers. I needed repeat customers with long and high lifetime value retention.
He's aiming to scale products to multi-seven figures, and that requires longevity and reliability. It takes time building a large business. He's also hyper-focused on product quality, even in the context of dropshipping. According to Luke, one of the largest mistakes beginner sellers make is testing low-quality products that can support scale. For him, a product isn't worth investing in unless it can hold up under serious volume. This means solid delivery times, good margins, and ideally something that's difficult to instantly copy and paste. His selection process is slow and deliberate, rather than spam testing 10 products a week like many beginner dropshippers do and even like many gurus preach. Luke prefers to go deep on one offer that has a long-term potential. He mentioned he often asks himself, can I take this product to $5 million? If the answer isn't yes, he moves on. So that's Luke's philosophy when it comes to product. Evergreen products, high quality, deep testing, no trend hopping, no testing 10 products at a time. But how would that actually work in 2025? While Luke hasn't really never been very specific with his methods and his approach, we can use his product criteria to guide us. This is how I would do it. The best product finding software out there in 2025, in my opinion, is right now either Winning Hunter or Trend Rocket. For this example, let's use Winning Hunter. Jump into Winning Hunter, sign in, and then you'll start already getting a bunch of product ideas. The name of the game here is to get inspiration, at least initially, and then we want to see if these products fit the criteria of Luke, which is evergreen, scalable, high margin, and not easy to copy. So typically you can pick something like European winners, and then you just get all of the best European e-com ads right now. So you can see there's a bunch of clothing, which honestly is pretty easy to copy, at least if someone is doing drop shipping. We want something that's a bit more unique. Okay, so I actually think this right here is a great example. This is a really cool product that has been trending a lot for the past months. This product here is clearly evergreen. What it is, it enables your car to have CarPlay, which in my opinion as well is the best car software. So it instantly upgrades very old cars to have the new functions that 2025 cars have. They get Siri, they get a navigation system, they get back camera even, and they get Bluetooth even in very, very old cars. So this is very evergreen, right? This is a problem that most people face. It's scalable, yeah, because there is a very large total addressable market here. Most people have cars, and I think around 30 to 40% of the cars available on the market, depending on the country, is older cars that maybe don't have car. And you would be able to sell this as well for a solid price due to its technology. Finally, whether it's easy to copy really in the end will depend on your brand around. That's the most difficult thing to copy in e-com. So that's why you need to invest a lot into your own brand. That's the main thing that will give your business a moat, essentially making it more difficult for competitors to copy your current brand. Once you've locked in a solid product using Luke's method, the next step is the store, of course. And this is where his approach gets surprisingly minimal. Belmar isn't flashy when it comes to his store designs. He's not stacking up hundreds of upsells or building out pixel-perfect landing pages. His focus is speed to test. From what he said online at least, is that he prefers getting a simple one-product store that lives fast with clean branding, a sharp offer, and just enough design to not hurt conversions. The goal isn't to win awards, it's to validate the product with real traffic as fast as possible. He mentioned that back in the day Shopify didn't have all the apps it does now, so he even learned how to hard code things like button colors and sizing himself just to make sure that the funnel looked decent. And and that really tells you how bare bone the setup really was back in the day. But this speed first approach only works if your product is really strong and that you have a very clear offer, which is why he puts so much weight on the product selection up front. Now obviously a lot has changed since 2019. Customers are way more critical than ever before, so if your store now looks like a typical 2019 dropshipping store, you'll get very few conversions. So today we need to be a bit more creative with our offers, our product pages, and our upsells, cross-sells, and so on. Take these brands as an example. HiSmile is one of the leading e-com brands globally right now, and in my opinion they are one of the best at branding. One thing to clearly notice is that they actually use emojis a lot on their site. The trick here is that a lot of their audience is very young. They have a lot of traffic from TikTok as well, and therefore implementing emojis on their site of course gives them a more relatable feeling. So one of the obvious things you see is that they have a very clear color scheme. HiSmile try to be playful, youthful, and very branded, and they do that with high quality images and a combination of the correct colors and emojis. As you see out here, they have their actual benefits of this product listed here just with emojis. They also have a bunch of solid customer reviews, of course, which help to convert people. But taking a look at one of their bestseller products, you can really clearly see how they brand things here, right? These sections down here that explain more in depth about the product, this is what's converting people. So the first thing is really catching attention, but down here is where all of the magic happens, and that's why the depth of your product page matters a lot in this day and age. You see they have a couple incredible GIFs here as well, which is really showing the purple feature of their teeth whitening product. So yeah, this is just a 10 out of 10 example. High quality images, great explanations, and they're actually really good at explaining a more advanced topic in a very basic method so that everyone understands it. This right here is another product doing extremely well right now. It's called MyOvi. It's essentially a product for period cramps for women. But the cool thing is here that they have incredible branding. This is a huge market, and they have come in with a very clean branding, a very solid site structure. They are scaling to the moon right now. So they have a lot of reviews down here, which of course is always great, specifically with a product like this, which almost seems to be too good to be true. And then with a product like this as well, they get into explaining all of the downsides from the typical solutions to having period pain. Now here's where things get interesting. Marketing is probably where Luke set himself apart the most. Most beginners treat ads like a guessing game. They throw up a random image with a discount and pray that something sticks. Luke didn't do that. He actually understood how meta works. He knew that the algorithm rewards engagement. In one example, he was running a dog product, but instead of just letting the ad run for itself, he went into the comments himself and started writing things like, "Show me a picture of your dog."
We were able to reduce our advertising cost by 160x. Nobody looks at the comment section. So what did we do? We began treating the comment section, understanding that if people commented in the comment section, Facebook would trigger it as people being interested. Lady A would hop into our ad and she would be in a scenario where like, oh, this is a cool product. It would be nice for my dog. Most would go on the dropshipping comment, right? And be like, oh, well, that's cool. You can get it for 50% off. What did we do? Cultivate relationships with customers. Oh, that's great. Do you mind sharing a photo of your dog? Boom. Next person, that's a cute dog. Oh, perfect. Do you have a dog? Then we would trigger controversy. So we would have an account that would go be like, I don't like that dog.
It's ugly dog.
Facebook doesn't know the difference. Therefore, we began to have extremely cheap CPMs.
And it worked. People replied, posted photos, tagged friends, and that one comment turned the ad into a thread. Meta pushed it harder, CPMs dropped, conversions spiked. He's also mentioned TikTok, but mostly from an organic perspective though, where the only real way to sell a product is to go viral, which isn't really consistent, so we will stick to Meta ads for now. That's where he ran up millions of impressions and essentially made millions in revenue. Now a lot of the methods he used are pretty outdated now. So let me show you a very simple ad meta setup that you can use to scale to 5 or even 6 figures a month. So typically I like to launch any product with a bottom funnel and a top funnel campaign. Keep it simple in the beginning. The top funnel will be the most important one, so let's take a look. In here we have a couple of different audiences. You can see that's been tested a lot in here, but the main thing to note for you is that in most cases when you get to a certain amount in spend, the broad audiences will perform the best. A broad audience is just an ad set without any specific target, and that's just because whenever Meta has enough data, they will know exactly who to show your ad to. In addition to that, you can also see I like to to test a bunch of interests that are related to the product. In this case, we sold lamps. So you can see we have interest about table lamps, we have about home decor and home design, okay? So keep it very, very close to your product. Don't go into way too many different directions. Once you have those 3 to 4 ad sets in your top funnel campaign, it's of course time to do the ads themselves. This is where you want to make 4 to 5 high quality ad creatives, okay? I'll show you a couple of examples here on the screen of some of my best ads that have worked really, really well. Take inspiration from them, do something similar, and then you'll be off to a good start, at least with the meta setup. So to sum it all up, Luke's core strategy still holds some weight. Evergreen products, simple stores, high engagement ads. But of course, let's be honest, 2019 was a different game. Things were easier back then. Shipping times were forgiving, meta ads were cheaper, and people weren't seeing 5 other dropshipping stores in their Facebook feed every single day. So if you copy what Luke did back then exactly the way he did it, you're probably not going to see the same results. But if you take the core principles that we've discussed, that solves a real problem, move fast, you test smart, and apply the modern day tactics I've shown you in this video, you're in a much better position to build a sustainable e-com business today. And so if you learned anything from this video, please subscribe, please like, leave a comment, and share it with your e-com network.